Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children, and everybody else in between. Welcome to Coach Powell's Coffee Tea, You and Me, live on YouTube and on Facebook. I hope you guys are enjoyed the shows that we've had in the past. Today is no different. We're going to have an exciting show for you. I got some live guest coaches that are coming on with me. Brother James Bond is back and he's ready to go. We're going to have a great time. We've been talking backstage, getting ready for the show. And I promise you, this is going to be super fantastic and exciting. I love working with small businesses, small, minority owned, women owned entrepreneurships. These are things that I'm all about. This is what the show is all about. We try to invite team members who value them as well, and people that are out there. This is all about you. And I take questions from all over the business community, all over the world, about issues that are affecting small businesses. And one of the biggest issues that's affecting small businesses right now is dealing with the fact that they still, in spite of all the issues that the government has put out for the United States of America, I'm going to say, they still can't get the assistance they need for the COVID-19 set asides and all the monies and all that kind of stuff, because a lot of times they don't qualify credit wise, or they don't have the right relationships. And I remember as a financial planner, when I got started years ago, it was important that I always gave my clients, who were all small businesses at the time, this advice. You need to have at least 12 months of savings set aside to handle payroll, marketing, anything that you need to handle, just in case something happens and you need some help with your business and you need to hire somebody else to come on and do something because you had a disability or some kind of issue that would happen to your business. I've now literally extended, because of what we've experienced at COVID-19. You're probably going to need to have 3 to 5 years of bankable resources before you even get started in business, because I think that we couldn't predict what happened for COVID-19. We couldn't have predicted it. We couldn't have, no actuarial tables existed that would make it real. But we know that now we know that it's a possibility. Another pandemic might be coming right after this one, and then right after this one, and then right after this one. It might be a pandemic world we grow into. And so making sure you have the resources set aside, the financial resources, the capital, the things you're going to need to keep going, keep your business going, is critically important before you get started. It's a very tough conversation to have, because I know that a lot of entrepreneurs and business leaders have leveraged their real estate, their homes, they've leveraged their credit, their personal credit, just to start the business. And here I'm telling you, you're going to need to do better. You're going to need to do more. Now, how are you going to do that? You're going to do that by doing exactly what we're going to talk about today in our topic. You're going to do that by putting together a winning team. We're going to talk about the value of a winning team in a little bit, but I'm going to preface our conversations today with that, so that you understand that you're going to need to work with others who are already amazing. You can't do this by yourself. You shouldn't do this by yourself. If you try to do this by yourself, your success is going to be temporary. It is not going to be long-term, not going to be sustainable, certainly not going to be something that you can package and value and sell and then move on with something else in your life and in your business. So I want you to keep that in the back of your mind. I'll tell you some other exciting things that happened to me this week. This week, my lovely daughter finishes her senior project as a theater administration person at Howard University. And she's learning not only that it doesn't take her to come up with her creative ideas and processes. It takes a village. It really takes people to surround you with different types of energy that you're going to need to push things forward. And it's a very important lesson to learn for everybody, because if you always think, and you've heard the myths that it's my way or the highway, or those thought processes that revolve around what we would call the lone wolf strategy. I'm going to do it by myself. I'm going to do it for myself, with myself. And it's all about that. No. I want you to think about a FUBU strategy. For us, by us. And really understand that if you can get it in your mind that there is no I, there's only we. And we means that everybody is making a significant, meaningful, relevant contribution to whatever the thing is. And guys, I'm saying break that down to everything you do, whether it's your life as a father, as a husband, as a wife, as a cousin, as a an entrepreneur. You call yourself a solopreneur, a corporate leader, wherever that is. You have to think about who you're bringing with you, who you're contributing to, who's contributing back to you, and how. That process and that strategy, that structure is what the 9-step process that I've been talking about for the last week is all moving to. It's all moving to getting you to understand higher and higher levels of trust, getting there and getting there in a way that's going to be sustainable when it comes to developing and building trust. Every category, the 9-step process, and I'm going to post that for those of you who are in the listening audience. Every category in the 9-step process is leading you closer and closer and closer to higher and higher and higher levels of trust. At the top level of trust, you are absolutely golden. You can walk into almost any room, be loved, accepted, and adored, and everybody will not just know your name, but know who you are and know what you're about and be dialed in together with you about what you can accomplish together. That is the ultimate goal of the 9-step process, and I hope you all get that. Today, we're going to be working on step 7 of the 9-step process. Today, we're going to be talking about how to create win-win teams. We're moving out of the interpersonal connections and relationships onto the team strategy. How do you put together the right team? How do you maintain the right team? And what are the characteristics of what I call a win-win collaborative leader? That is what the world is going to be calling for now, and what it has been calling for literally the last decade, and what it surely will be calling for in the future. Win-win collaborative leadership is what it's all going to be about. I'm going to play our little intro for you, and then we're going to come back and pick up and introduce Coach James into the conversation. Now, before we do that, I want you all to know that if you're dialing in for the first time, you can watch this on YouTube and on Facebook. If you have a question at any time during the communication, put that in the chat. If you have a business or anything you want to share with someone, again, put that in the chat. The links are all that kind of stuff. We are not, this show is really not about, it's not a sales show, but we're not opposed to you getting the eyeballs you need to get, right? And we're not opposed to you getting the contacts and communicating the message that you need to communicate. So definitely, if you're an entrepreneur, you're a business leader, put that information in the chat, share it with it. If you have a question, definitely ask the question about the topic we're going to have at hand. We'll have some discussion back and forth, and you'll see that Coach Bond and I will chop it up a little later on, and that's always fun, by the way, because he's just amazing. All right, and I just say that, and you'll find a little bit more about that a little later on. I'll play this little blurb, and we'll get back at it. Okay. Okay, welcome to Coffee Tea, You and Me. It's official. We're getting ready to get this ball rolling. And guys, I got to introduce to you a life coach, a business coach, a coach extraordinaire, a speaker, just super talented, super sharp brother. I am so proud to have him on the show once again. Some people I can't get him back, once I get him on the show. But this guy, he's a glutton for punishment. He wants to come back again and again. So like, who am I to stand in the way of greatness, right? And so I have to say, Coach Bond is just an amazing person, an amazing personality. I love to call him brother, love to call him friend. He is super talented, super exciting. He's got the right package and everything that you could think about when it comes to the imagery, and the quality of his communication and his style is amazing. And I think it's a lot to learn that you all could get from him. I know I do all the time. He drops jewels on me all the time, and hopefully I can contribute a few things to his bag too. But he is just an amazing talent, and I'm glad to have him on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let me introduce you to life coach extraordinaire, Mr. James Bond.
Good morning, good afternoon to some as well. This is Bond, James Bond, the best life coach on planet Earth. Why? Because the great I am says that I am. This is not a hobby. This is not part-time. This is not something I do on the side. This is my calling. I am a full-time life coach for the last 13 years before people even knew what life coaches were. So I'm here to help. When life doesn't make any sense, when life stops making sense, when business gets frustrated, we understand what is going on in your circle. I'm the person you need to call. I can help you see the light. I can help you understand your surroundings. I can help you get back on track. Coach Bond, James Bond. Don't put your life on hold another moment. Call me. Let's schedule something that makes sense to you. You deserve peace. You deserve happiness. You deserve to be on top. Nobody can do what you were called to do like you were called to do it. So stop making the world wait for your success. Success is not waiting on you. You don't wait on success. Success is waiting on you. Coach Bond, James Bond. Thank you for being on the show, brother.
Wow, wow, wow. I'm still posting some of the stuff that he wanted us to share, guys. You're gonna have to forgive me for just a minute. I gotta get you his phone number, and I gotta get you his website. And so, sometime during the show, I will definitely make sure that stuff comes up.
Thank
All
you.
right, all right.
Thank you.
But right off the bat, let's just get into it. Brother Bond, let's talk about this. We're talking about today putting together winning teams. When I think about winning teams, I literally always think about some of the wonderful football coaches that were out there over the years, and one of the best ones I always come back to is the coach for the Green Bay Packers for the first 7 years of the NFL.
Yeah,
Um,
Lombardi.
my man Lombardi, yes,
Yes,
he literally put together five Super Bowl winning teams within the
yes,
span of 7 years. And
exactly.
in three of those 7 years, they won consecutive back to back to back wins.
Yes,
Legendary achievement, legendary coaching strategy, legendary success. And now, obviously, you don't even think about the Football Hall of Fame or anything else. He is the prototype
exactly.
of what it takes to put together a winning team for the NFL. Was the prototype. I don't know if he
Yes,
still is. He
yes,
definitely was the
yes.
prototype. Let's talk about it. I know you've seen it happen. I know you've seen leaders do this in the past. What have the leaders that you've seen done, experienced, participated in to put together the best teams on the planet that you know of?
Well, the one thing that leaders need to get from the Lombardi conversation, and really from a sports analogy that I teach them when I go into companies now about hiring, you have to make sure your bench is strong. Let me say it again. I had to make sure your bench is strong. So as you expand your company, you can take a day off as a leader. You can sit back some days and kind of veg out necessarily for to get your mind set back, reset your life, to get some stress off. You can do that. What the successful companies do, and because what I've learned in my early career in management by having a great leader, the great manager first time out, was hire people smarter than you. You'd be amazed at the people who don't understand that. Hire people smarter than you. It's okay. You don't have to be a smart person in the room. Actually, that can be a detriment because that means your company's not growing. So you got to make sure you always are available to hire people smarter than you. Another thing I recommend that companies do to be successful too is they stop hiring talent and they hire character. Character lasts longer. Now, there are some situations where you definitely want to take advantage of the talent in the market, like the world right now. But most of the time, you'll find yourself, if you keep hiring talent, you're going to be in trouble because guess what? That talent is available for a reason. And usually it's not the right reason. So you got to make sure you don't bring this superstar on the team who another company took 20 years to get out of the team. Now you invested them in your organization. It's going to take you 20 years to get him or her out of there now because you're looking at all this talent they have. Question that conversation. And also nowadays, there's no reason why you can't do personality assessments because guess what happened? There's professional interviewers out there who will blow your mind and make you feel good, warm, and fuzzy at the interview, who could literally be the Judas that you hired into your company to destroy everything. So we got to make sure that we understand that. I've been hired by quite a few companies to actually hire for them because I go into detail about this. You got to make sure that you really use that football or sports in general analogy. You got to have your bench strong. You got to have your bench strong.
That is amazing. It's like one of the things I always recommend to companies that I work with is you're going to bring somebody on. I don't care in what role they're going to come in. Whether they're going to come in as an employer or an employee, they're going to be like a supplier to you. If they're going to be even associated with you in any way, shape, or form, you need to interview them at least 3 times, and in different environments. You know, interview them on their turf, interview them on your turf, and interview them on a neutral turf. Now, that was back in the days before COVID existed, right?
Correct.
But I'm still going to go. You still need to interview them 3 times. But instead of sitting down with them face to face in different environments, you may have to have 3 different Zoom calls. But the first Zoom call needs to be about what they think about your company and why they think about your company.
Correct.
Second one is what do you think about them and why you think the way they think about you. And the third one needs to be how do we collaborate, associate, come together on some things that are going to be able to help win-win opportunity for all of us.
Yes.
You know, and if that person doesn't have any ideas, any way of saying, you know, I got some things I want to bring to the table that I think is could be unique and special for you, pass. They don't have what it takes to, because they're going to be waiting for you to teach them everything. They're going to be waiting for you to tell them everything. And so that's part of the thing that I think most people mess up is they don't hire people who are ready to play the game that they play. And they don't really add anything, because what you put in the job description is never really what you want or what you need.
Exactly.
You know, I don't care how good you write the job description. It is never going to be exactly what you need, because, you know, you got to dumb that language down to, you know, something that is marketable, mass marketable kind of thing.
That's correct. That's correct. Exactly. And see, that's the reason why too. That's great. You said that. But that's the reason why you talk about the multiple conversations, because I always recommend a company, as you interview them and then have them do a personality profile. That one you want to use, disc assessment, whatever, interview them again to see if it's the same conversation. Because again, those systems, they're not 100%, but I strongly believe in those profiles because you can try to manipulate them, but they're set up so well, they would definitely draw pretty close to who you are. So you get an interview there, and like you said, you know, and then because when they teach you too, I'm feeling warm and fuzzy about talking to Mr. Powell in the interview. He makes me feel great because he's like me. Guess what? I hired the wrong person. I don't need to be like me. He needs to be, like you said, an adventurous person to ask questions, to challenge the status quo, to challenge me. But a lot of leaders are so afraid of losing their position, they stop hiring the people that can come in and make it happen. So I always tell people, again, hire people smarter than you. You have an obligation to grow your company. So guess what? You don't have all the ideas. If you did, we need to be hiring anybody. So that's why, that's right.
And they have to get out their ego really to do that, because you know, hire somebody who you know is smarter than you.
Yes.
You cannot be afraid of your power. You know, if you're afraid, just because they're smarter than you doesn't mean they have authority to do anything that you don't approve.
That's right.
You know,
that's right.
Intelligence doesn't mean authority.
Exactly.
And I know a lot of us have been raised to believe that the smart one is the person that's in charge.
That's right.
You know,
and that's not the case most times.
And that can't be the case in your business.
That's right. That's right. Because we forget, because I started the business and I'm phenomenal. But guess what? I started the business in 1970 and now it's 2000. So guess what? The world changed. So I need to hire a person who thinks in the world 2000, and I'm going to be strong enough, have enough, big enough conversation and security in myself to know it's still my company, but I want the company to grow. Because guess what? I also need to make sure too, as an owner of the company, Am I looking to expand? Am I looking to franchise? Am I looking to sell and go somewhere in the island and sit back and relax for another 20 years? But all those things should be in your head where if I hire a person, maybe this person wanted to buy me out. Maybe this person can expand where now the system or the company is running on autopilot right now. He should help me get there. But if I'm stuck on trying to have the 1970 conversations, shame on me as a leader of the company.
But I think we're gonna about to do. I'm about to show the people some things that I think are gonna blow their minds.
Yeah.
I actually think it's gonna blow your mind, and I'm hoping you got some pushback ideas for me.
Yes.
After we go through this, I'm gonna take about 10, 15 minutes to go through it. I would
Awesome.
like everybody in the listening audience, do me a favor. And I know Coach Bonds is gonna be backstage chopping it up, trying to figure out how he can add something to this, and he will. I know he will. But definitely download, look at the chat, download the information that's there, because I put together a resource guide, and I told you earlier that the 9 steps, what we're working from, we're working on the step number 7 right now, which is how to put together a dramatically high performance team, right? But there's characteristics as a leader and as a team member you need to understand in order to work effectively with, in, and about a high performance team. And it's probably counter to everything you have learned in leadership school, in business school, in communication school, in any school that you've ever gone to or even experienced, because tomorrow is going to be a much different day than today. Tomorrow's leader needs to be a win-win collaborative style of leader. They need to own that process. And there are 5 intelligences, I'm going to call them, that you need to embrace thoroughly and fully in order for you to really get this done. So if you can download the document, you'll be good. You'll understand where I'm coming from, and I won't be talking like a crazy person. But just know that in order for you to embrace, first of all, the win-win collaborative lifestyle, you got to understand win-win, and you got to understand collaboration. You're not going to be able to do it if you don't get this. So Mother Teresa said one of the greatest things you could ever say about collaboration. And she said, I can do things you cannot. You can do things I cannot. But together we can do great things. I want to hang out there for a second, and I want you to understand that greatness does not happen at the individual level. It's impossible. You cannot do it by yourself. You should not do it by yourself. Greatness only happens when you can put together a great team, and that team can work together so well that you far exceed what either of you could do as individuals. The limit on your abilities and your capabilities personally are there. But with a great team, there are no limits. Let me say that again. There are no limits with a great team. So what do you have to do literally in order to get that? That's what we're going to talk about today. The next concept I want to introduce you to is the concept of win-win. Earl Grey Jr. said this: what makes networking work is that it sets up win-win situations in which all parties involved get to take something home. Networking is a sharing process. Until you understand that, you won't have much of a network. So let's break that down. If you have a team where people refuse to share with each other, one to another, if you as a leader cannot inspire them to work collectively together as a unit and really, really give the best that they have to give to everyone on the team, then they're not going to be strong enough to get to that uncompromising, unfathomable, unshakable success that they can get to if you don't put those things in place. So again, a win-win collaborative leader needs to thoroughly understand what collaboration is and what win-win is. And in the document that I'm sharing with you, there's links to some articles and some ideas, some concepts that go into the details about both of those concepts. And I want you to go ahead and do that. But I want you now to turn your attention to what I call the five intelligence. Five intelligences of a win-win collaborative leader, right? And I created that term and can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, but here's what it means to me. A win-win collaborative leader has embraced five intelligences. One is they're a talent maven. Two, they're a teamwork guru. Three, they're a genius conductor. Four, they're a courage activator. And five, they're an extreme supporter. Let's talk about what each of those are. I'm not going to read that stuff to you because you can read it on your own. But a talent maven is the kind of person that's so attractive to talent that people literally are lining up to work with that person. This is the kind of person who already has an established legendary reputation such that people want to be on that team. Understand, human beings literally love to be on the winning team. If they already got talent and they know they have talent, they're not going to be satisfied working with or for a losing team. They're going to want to work on the winning team. And the ability for the team itself to demonstrate to the talent marketplace that it is the winning team is going to make the difference between you as a leader being able to recruit the good people that you want to recruit, and for you as a leader to have difficulty recruiting the people that you want to recruit. It's just like Coach Bond said, you do want to recruit people who are smarter than you, more talented than you, better than you, higher quality with it in the know today, right? You do want that. You want a consistent talent pool of people coming at you, whether you hire them or you associate with them or you want to get next to them or whatever it is you're trying to do to build this team. You need to have a pool of people who already understand that the team itself is magical. And that means the team has to be a part of that process of reaching out and saying, you trust, when you get a chance, you want to join this team. You want the best recruits come from the team. They don't come from you, the leader. They come from the team. You need to put together the environment and the team that's so attractive that the best want to play with you. That's the deal right there. Teamwork guru. A teamwork guru is not just a person who can set up an attractive environment, but this is a person who knows how to make sure that every member on the team is happy and delighted in just being on the team. This person makes sure that no one ever feels underdeveloped and no one ever feels like they don't have the resources needed to get the job done. This is the person who has been able to, teach people, show people, work on the concepts and the creativity required in order to move the needle, in order to make the big things happen. They never have problems with how they speak and how people receive the communications from them because they don't do the things that everybody does. Everybody has bias. Everybody uses microaggressions in their speech, but these leaders do not do that kind of stuff. When they talk to their team members or anybody for that matter, they have the highest amount of respect, the highest amount of regard for every individual uniquely as a person, as a gift to the universe. They are good at helping people feel great about themselves, and they're great at helping people connect to the right resources. Beautiful. Teamwork Guru is an amazing concept. If you haven't embraced it, you don't know what that's all about, I suggest you read the information that we put forth here, and I believe you'll get it, and it's be pretty simple. If not, just definitely follow up with me. We'll go deeper. The next level of leadership, the next intelligence that I think everybody needs to know if they're going to put together winning teams is you got to be a genius conductor. You have to be the kind of person who can take all these different team members and show them how in connecting with and associating with one another that they're going to be better, that they're going to get there faster, that they're going to grow, that their personal development, their professional development needs to be the best possible, not just as a corporate situation where you hire a trainer or all that kind of stuff, but it's coming from internal. We develop each other. Each of our team members develop other team members, and where they're weak, we cover them. Where they're strong, we promote them, and we give them better opportunities, and we use the strengths, not the weaknesses, to propel the team forward. And we cover the weaknesses for those who are weaker than those who are in areas where they're stronger. And everybody's focused on that. The biggest example I could give you is I listened to um, a program many years ago, probably was the 700 Club. And one of the leaders of the program had this author who had written a book, who was a Jewish, former Jewish rabbi, who was really writing about, the differences between Judaism and Christianity. And it was presented on the 700 Club. It was really, really accepted by the team leaders at the 700 Club as the way to go. And what he talked about was literally how in the Israeli occupation and the Israeli mindset is the separating the categories of strengths that people have. So, if you're a farmer, all you do is you're a farmer. You're not a farmer who actually, fixes cars every once in a while. No, if you're an auto mechanic, you are an auto mechanic and you focus on being an auto mechanic. If you are a baker, you focus on being a baker. And nobody crosses anybody else's lanes. They do the things that they're expert in. So they're great at segmenting the workforce and segmenting the people in categories. So and then they can depend on each other to do the thing that they're great at instead of everybody trying to do everything by themselves for themselves, right? So they can trade back and forth. That's that old mentality. I remember my grandfather used to, when in his farm would come off the farm every day, and or actually before he even got to the farm every day, he had to make several stops of friends that had things that he wanted to trade with and associate with. And then when he left the farm, after he picked up some things he wanted to pick up, he stopped some more on the way back to the house and, trade a couple dozen eggs for, a couple of bushels of peas, and, trade a couple of bushels of corn for, some tomatoes. And, there was no money that changed hands. It was just trade expertise and what you were able to collect to each other, from other people and other places. I had this, you need this, I got this, you need that, I got this. And then there was a trade that happened, and it kept their lifestyle in front, so they could take their money that they earn in any way, shape they earn their money, they could save that or put that as a down payment for a house or a business or whatever they wanted to do. That's how they worked it. And I thought that was an amazing thing. It's the same thing here. When you have genius conductors, they're able to take the talents that people have, connect them together to help them make the right thing. They have exceptionally high quality networks. They're always willing, to go to their network because they have a bench, right? They have an A network who's the top level people, right? They have a B network who may be the medium, senior, and medium people, and then they have a C level network, and that's a network of people who are just kind of just starting, just entry level. They're just gonna. So whatever you want, whatever talent you want, they have people that are already ready to connect and ready to make things happen. That's the genius conductor. They're connectors. That's their job, right? The courage activator. The courage activator has the intelligence of being able to literally excite people, turn them on, help them understand the true value, the trajectory of their capacity and their gifting. And so if you're a courage activator, and I consider myself both a genius conductor and a courage activator, right? If I find somebody who has a gift and a talent, and I think that gift is being squandered, I'm gonna get in there and I'm gonna tell them, listen, I see what you have here. I want you to understand that what this is really, and then let's talk about if you were to be the best at it on the world, what could happen for you? And I'm going to help you paint that vision of what could happen if we were able to take your talent and really blow it up and really, really give it everything you could possibly give it. Take away all the distractions and just focus on growing your gift. What would happen? And let's paint that picture of what your life could look like. What would you be able to be, do, have? I need you to write that down. I need you to understand that completely. And then I'm going to be your cheerleader at that point. I'm going to be the person who's going to, remind you of, what your gift is and what your gift calling is and how you're going to get there. And what the strategy is you've suggested that you want to do. I'm going to be that person who's going to be on your side going, okay, you said you want to do blah, blah, blah. Why are we talking about this over here? You said you were focused on this, that, and other. Why is this coming into your world? How are you letting that happen? What things, what do you have to do to prevent that from happening so that you can stay focused and stay in your lane and only find the people, identify the people who are going to be with you, not people who are going to be against you. How do you do that? Right? I'm the courage activator. The next one is the extreme supporter. The extreme supporter is vitally important as a leadership intelligence, leadership characteristics, leadership quality. This is the person who literally can look at a situation, right, and find out where the support is needed. Now, that support is going to be needed in one of three categories. It's going to be time, it's going to be talent, or it's going to be treasure. Time, talent, and treasure. Those are the three levels of support. That's what we call resource development, right? So everything in the resource pool, whether it's time, talent, or treasure, is going to be a place where people can go and pick up what they need to do that. Now, the extreme supporter is going to be able to see this is what you're trying to do, this is what you're trying to get to, this is your weaknesses, this is your strengths, these are the things that are opportunities, and these are the things that are threats to you. Okay, here's what you need. You need somebody to really just give you some time. You need somebody who really can give you the kind of money that you need. That's treasure, right? You need somebody who is skilled at this, that, thing, and the other. They have capabilities that can help you do blah, 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 blah. It's capabilities, right? The extreme supporter has those at the ready. They're not. They don't have to go out and find them. They don't have to connect them to somebody else. They already have what you need, and they're willing to give that to you in a high level, not just, I'm gonna give it to you in drips and drabs. I see you need 2 million, but I'm gonna give you 10,000. No, no, no. They're doing it all. That's an extreme supporter. So I hope you understand that these are the characteristics that it's going to take to really, really be the kind of leader that we've suggested that you grow yourself into over these 9 steps, all that process we talked about in the weeks before. And if you're watching the show, if you've seen it in the past, I want you to go back over the past episodes and really begin to understand and take a look again at the 9-step program. I'm going to share it here again with you as a link to that. But now I got to bring my brother back because I know he got some stuff to add to this. He's got some questions to ask. He's got some challenges to make. And so here we go. Here's Brother Bond.
That was awesome. It's funny though, I think, because the only challenge I have with it, actually, to be honest with you, will be having someone believe they're only one of those. Because I say that because I find myself over the years, I've had all those modeled to me, and I find myself being almost all of those as well too.
Right.
Because of the fact of the courage activator, I found myself because of the fact I was taught, hire people smarter than me in my corporate time, that I would have, okay, let me hire somebody. Today, you're going to run the meeting today. I'm like, what do you mean you're going to run the meeting today? Because I have something to say, but the team needs to hear from you. So what I found myself doing was that empowered people. So people, as you said, also the genius come. Now, everybody's operating at their highest level of capacity, all because they feel important, all because they have something. So now they become a courage activator because people who know them are like, I have never heard John speak at a meeting. I worked with John at 2 companies in the past. He's never been allowed to say anything. He's speaking? He's held a meeting today. And I learned that John knows a few things. So now you have all those 5 in there taking place. So I definitely would say the only challenge is to make sure that we believe that we don't believe we're only one of those, that we can be all, that we can be one, which is fine, or we can be 2, we can be 3, we can be all 5 of those. But it's extremely important for us to understand that all comes back down to be, as I tell my clients now, if you are the only 10 in your circle, you're in the wrong circle. And that goes for the corporate world. Also, if you're the smartest person in your company, there's something wrong. Your company is soon, let me say it again, soon to fail, soon to fall apart. Because guess what? You started the company, it was like I said earlier, 1970. Or if you started in 2018, it's now 2021. The world's changed in 3 years, dramatically in this case. So you have to hire people who are going to challenge you. Now, does that then you need to hire a person comes in that's going to disrupt the team? To a point, yeah. To a point, yeah. You thought I was going to say no, no. To a point, yeah. They need to come and disrupt things a little bit. Now, come cause chaos and unrest? Of course not. But they need to come in there and shake up your thought process and say, well, wait a minute. I did a teaching on this a few years back and did it again a few months back at a university about why we need millennials. Because we know that us folks who are 40 years or older plus, we were taught, because our brains are wired, if our boss says, well, we move that chair by the door over there, we just get up and move the chair just to keep him or her quiet. But the millennial is more apt to say, why am I moving the chair? Why is it going by the door? Guess what? That's a good thing, because you may have been in the office getting the books done. They might have noticed that the customer coming in the door, they first step to the right to look at your store. Now, guess what? If there's a chair there, you disrupted the flow because you didn't know any better. Something as simple as that.
That's
They
right.
need to ask you why you're doing it. Well, because I said so. That has to stop. Has to stop. Should have been stopped, but now I'm telling you, it stops today because
Yes.
it doesn't matter. Because guess what? One thing they'll learn from you is that you are still an avid learner as well, and that's very important. Because guess what? They could say why. You could say because I've noticed the customer stepping to the right, so I'm
Right.
making more room on the right side, so I'm moving the chair to the left. Guess what? Now they learned, and you realize that you had to teach, not just tell. Let me say it
That's
again.
awesome.
As a leader, you have to teach, not just tell. Telling stopped back in 1982. It stopped. So now you got to teach. There's nothing wrong with teaching. You should enjoy teaching as a leader. So let's understand your brain has to be activated to make sense. It has to be stretched. It has to be pulled. And again, operating on your strength is fine. You should operate your strength, not on your weaknesses. But guess what? Somebody needs to also, at time or two, come and remind you of those weaknesses so you can still focus on your strengths. So just again, I think you guys really need to download those that Coach Powell had in there, because those are very important. And I just am sitting there laughing because I've used all of those without even knowing what they were called. So it's very important to sit there. What you got to realize, folks, there's nothing new under the sun. What it is that you told me something I was 10 years old, tell me again at 20 years old, tell me again at 30 years old. Guess the difference is I'm a different human being, literally, scientifically, from even a skin or molecular, I'm a different person. So guess what? Tell me again, and let's walk through it again. Let's learn and grow together.
I am so glad that you said everything you just said. I gotta say, because a lot of people think that they can get away with just being one of those things, and it's not going to work.
Exactly.
Even if you do it to an exceptional level, you've got to do it all.
Yes.
You've
Yeah.
got to do it all. And in the exercises that I have in the training manual that everybody has access to in the bottom, we start exactly with that. Of course, we all have a leaning. Each of us has something that we're more excited about, something that we're more interested in. Some of us are connectors and we think, okay, I'm going to be that genius conductor. That's my thing. And some of us are going to be, more about that cerebral team leadership qualities. I want to get in. I want to communicate more effectively, all that stuff. But it's all there. But you have to do it. You have to take it as sort of like now. So you mentioned personality profiles, and I wanted to share this with the audience because it's a trip. It's true. You can't cheat those things, because I've been trying to cheat mine for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
And I keep coming back. No matter how many times I answer the questions, and I know what the answers are to make it be what I want it to be, but I
Exactly.
can't seem to figure out how to get this test to say anything other than what it always says. It
Exactly.
always comes back that I am INTJ.
Yes.
I'm an introvert,
Yes.
and I think the way I think, right? I want to be an extrovert. I'm
Exactly.
simply not.
Exactly.
And there's even when I try to lie about it, the test seems to pick it up.
That's right.
I am not. I
That's
know.
right.
That means I think a lot.
That's
I
right.
really, really spend a lot. I love quiet time by myself, coming up with these concepts and so on and so forth. That all these coins, the phrases that I coined.
Yes.
So they sound similar. The stuff you used before, but I made them up.
Exactly.
That's why
Exactly.
they sound similar. I took the normal phrase and let me flip this and create a new
That's right.
phrase, because that way people can pay attention and go, this must be something different. This must be something
That's right.
new. It's not. Like
That's
you
right.
said, it is literally nothing new under the sun. People need to take these as a step-by-step approach. Figure out the ones, and again, follow the exercise model that I put at the bottom of the thing. Pick the one that you love. Go ahead and explore that one right away. Do that one to the best of your ability, and then transition quickly into the other ones. And step by step, one by one, take yourself through the exercises there, and you begin to see the strengths that you have and be able to clearly identify how you can fix the things that you need to fix. And you don't need. I hate this. I know Coach Bond's gonna hate me for this one too, because I'm a coach too, right? And I'm telling you, you don't need a coach to do this.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
just do it.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
now if you can't get off the couch and do it, maybe you don't need a coach, you need a therapist.
That's right.
You know,
That's right. That's right.
there's something in your background that's keeping you from moving forward, and that's not going to be solved by somebody who can't really uncover your past traumas and dramas and so on and so forth.
That's right.
Because there ain't no you got to be able to get up off the couch. You got to be
That's
able to
right.
get in the game. This is an
That's right.
in the game process. This is the game.
Exactly.
You can't sit on the bench and try to play. You
Exactly.
got to be able. You got to get up, grab the ball, and say, "I want the ball, coach. Let me in the game. Let's go."
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You know,
And then that's one thing I think is very important to understand that, like you say, you have to figure out, okay, what you need to get where you have to be. And like you said, sometimes that's why my interview session is so important, because I need to figure out, I do many things, but I'm going to be your coach. Am I going to be a mental health counselor certified as well? Crisis certified counselor. Am I going to benefit you best? Because say I just want to hire a coach, and I don't do
right,
my due diligence. Now I'm coaching you, and I need to be a certified therapist hat on, and my coaching hat put on the bench for a while, on the shelf for a
right,
moment. So yeah,
right.
it's very
We got to go
important. Yeah,
back before we can go forward.
that's right. That's right. Yeah,
Right.
it's very important to know where you are, to know where you're starting from.
Oh, catch this. This is something I did. You and I can geek out to this kind of stuff. I developed a concept maybe a decade ago called the 5 concepts of human help.
Yeah.
And literally, there are 5 things that you can do to help somebody else. Some roles that you can play, right?
Yes.
The one role is the coach,
Yes.
right? Another role is the therapist. We've discovered both of those roles,
Yes.
right? The third role is an advisor. Advisor is going to tell you what to do. And there's a consultant. A consultant is going to tell you what to buy and maybe how to do what you need to do, and then maybe they'll even do it for you or do it with you.
Exactly.
You know, that's what your consultant is there for.
Exactly.
And then the last is advisor, coach, therapist. Can't remember the last one. This is crazy. Not an associate. Oh, mentor. The mentor
Yeah.
is going to tell you what they did.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Last time I had a chance to do it. And the problem I think people have with the mentor role is they think they can have one.
Yes.
And that's good. It's like, dude, you haven't done anything.
Anything.
One mentor is not going to get you there. You
Exactly.
need several mentors.
Exactly.
And as your career progresses, as your business progresses, so should the quality and experience of your mentors.
Oh my goodness. Say that again. One more time, please. As your
career and your business develops and grows, so should the quality and experience of your mentors. Plural.
Exactly. And
try to get more than 3.
Yes. And the main thing we got to realize in life is that one thing I took a course years ago, that was 3-day course I took. It was amazing. And it kind of reminded me, so I can hang my hat when I'm talking to my clients now, is when you're talking to a coach, or like you're talking to a mentor, you're talking to an advisor, talking to whoever you're talking to, if they haven't been where you're trying to go, what are you doing? They can have good intentions,
Right.
a huge heart, empathy, sympathy, but if they haven't been where you're trying to go, they cannot take you there. They may know the way because GPS, but they don't know the way.
I want to take a minute to check in with my listening audience. And guys, listen, if you're coming from, I don't care where you're coming from, put your information in the chat. Tell us what city and town you're from. Tell us your name. If there's something that you want to share with your listening audience, go ahead and do that. If there's a question that you have for me or for Coach Bond about putting together winning teams, don't let this time go, because trust me, I don't know when I'm going to get Brother Bond back again. This is genius that's available to you just for a few more minutes. If you don't use it, don't blame me, don't blame him, because this is your opportunity. I'm gonna post a couple of things that I promised him that I would share on the screen for you guys in just a minute. But in the meantime, go ahead and tell us who you are, where you're from, where you're seeing the show from. I know some of you might be on your phone, so you might not be able to interact with the chat. But if you're on your computer, definitely tell us what city you're from. Tell us, if you have a question about anything, if you have a business, post your website. I mean, we're all open to that, and we're never going to be against that. So, it's all about exposure for everybody as much as we possibly can. And again, this is something that you can go back and watch. It's going to be recorded, and so you can always take advantage of it. It's going to be there for you. And let me post the stuff that Brother Bond, I promised him I would post. Oh man,
And
it went away.
and
It's no
but
longer in private chat.
oh, okay, I'll put it there. But
So you
it's
put your website and your phone number back in the
yes.
private chat again.
But it's one thing I want to talk quick about too, about the fact of what you said a minute ago about
Okay.
we have to realize that people have a tough time understanding that. So when
Mhm.
you're talking to someone, as far as like an interview with someone, and you're talking adding to your team, you have to make sure that you are available to be vulnerable. In other words, years ago, people got on the coach from University of Kentucky's. He started to say because these kids now want to go one and done, so they want to go to the NBA, and they changed the rule. You got to go to the NBA now. So some people went to Europe and came back. I think one person did that successfully, but it's just different games. So he had a hard time setting in. So he said he put out a basic statement. All of the kids who want to go one and done come to the University of Kentucky. He got so much heat for that. It was, but now I tell people they were always in the running for the championship because he did that. But what I say that to say, we said about adding, making sure your bench is strong. If you're hiring someone, make sure you let them know to be completely open with your interview. I want to come here. I have an idea like this company that I want to start. So I'm coming here to learn how to run a company, start my own company in 3 to 4 years. You should applaud them for saying that to you because now I get to train and develop. Two things happen with that. You get to pour into someone to make their life better, which is an awesome opportunity. The second thing with that, they might want to, well, I like this company, so do you want to, can I franchise from you? Now you make more money. So either way it go, Coach said earlier about a win-win. That's a point blank win-win for everybody. But if we get caught, so what do you want? What's your 5 year? Well, I want to, they'll start making up. Well, I want to be here and be. What is your 5 year plan? My own company in 5 years. Great. I'm hiring you today. What do you
Right.
want to learn? What do you know about running the company? Nothing. Great. I'm going to use you up while you're here. So the
Right.
same thing, honesty back and forth. But I need you to understand that your own company, it's hard to run a company. So I need you to not call in sick. I need you to be every day here because I'm going to go by you and give you what you asked me to give you. I'm going to give you 5 years of hard grind, entrepreneur, how to start a company out, facts, and you ask me questions after hours about books and stuff. I'm going to pour into you, but you're going to pour into me hard work for 5 years consistently.
That's
So
right.
again, nobody loses, but some people can't handle that. Well, 5 years, that can't be, you don't know where you're going to be in 5 years. So how are you going to run this person off because your ego is being abused or your ego is being your feelings are hurt? Well, this person could be the best thing for you because again, they could leave you, you pour into someone, you make their life better, or they can say, you know what, I like your style, sir, ma'am, or sir, can I just buy the same company, open up across town? Yes, you can. Here's a franchise contract. So now you win. But we gotta stop being afraid of people being honest with us.
Oh my God. See, that's why I like using the sports model because it's built in, right?
Yes,
You're only going to do this for 5 to 7 years. There ain't
that's
no way,
right. That's right.
for you. If you might get lucky
That's right.
and somehow, and that's only if you're in a position like a quarterback, right, where
That's
you're
right.
never going to get hurt, right?
That's
You
right.
might get lucky and extend that. You
That's
might
right.
be a LeBron James and be able to
Yeah.
extend, the traditional career trajectory.
That's right.
But really, while you're there, the team has to literally understand how to help you get to that transition to
That's
the
right.
next.
That's
And
right.
if they're not doing that while you're there, then they're doing you a disservice.
That's
And
right.
it's the same thing that we should be bringing into corporate America. What's the average time a person is with a company? 3 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
why pretend like you're gonna be here longer than 3 years?
That's right.
Who are
That's
we
right.
who are we fooling?
That's right. That's right. That's
Let's
right.
just get down to the real, keep it authentic, just like you said,
That's right.
and admit, I'm in this for the short run. I know for a fact I'm underworked and I mean I'm underpaid and I will be overworked.
That's
All right. But in this time, here's what I need to
right.
get
That's right. No
so
full
that
fact.
I
This
can
is
make the
exactly right.
next move. And
Yes.
if you willing
Yeah,
to get in there with me and let's do this, I'm willing to give you that 100% that you're looking for.
that's right. That's right. And that's
Why not just be completely upfront and honest with that agreement
and see that's so
instead of
important.
going,
Yeah.
I'm just going, I'm gonna pretend like I'm gonna be here for. I'm a company man. I'm
That's
gonna
right.
pretend like I'm here for the company.
That's right.
And I'm gonna tell all these lies in the interviews to the interview
That's right.
team and all that kind of stuff, and they know are lies too. So that means they're
That's
trying to
right.
poke holes in it, and
That's
it's
right.
like, what, just be honest. This is
That's
a
right.
stepping stone to my next thing,
That's right.
and
That's
in
right.
this thing, what I'm hoping to be able to get is this, and I'm
Yes.
hoping that you all will be there to make that to help to support that. I promise you, if you are, I'm gonna give you 100%,
That's
everything
right.
I got.
That's
And it
right.
won't be any question about who about how the level and the intensity at which I'm willing to come to the table.
That's
If
right.
people could do that, I mean, imagine. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, and you and I both are speaking from experience. There is
Yeah.
nobody I have worked with that I haven't laid out that absolute truth to them,
That's right.
that they haven't responded in a positive way in all 30
Every
years of my
yes.
work life.
Exactly. Exactly.
Every single time I have done exactly that. I have won contracts that I shouldn't have won. I
Yeah.
have gotten opportunities that I shouldn't have gotten. I've been in places where I shouldn't be.
Yeah.
I don't qualify. I
Yeah.
wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I help people believe in me because of the confidence
Yes.
that I was willing to do whatever it took.
That's
And they
right.
believed in that confidence.
That's right. That's right.
And so that means they got on board with me. I mean, everybody I work for is a part of my advisory council.
Yeah. Exactly.
They were
Exactly.
my first business. I considered them my first business advisors.
Yeah. Exactly.
And they
Exactly.
knew right off the bat. They got me for a short term. They about to use me up
That's
because
right.
I'm out,
That's right.
and
But see
most of
that
them helped me get out.
and but see that goes back same thing like now. If I'm sitting in a company and Coach Powell comes in the door and I'm interviewing Coach Powell, my first thought is I need to make sure starting tomorrow morning that I drain him every single day he's in my building. Because he told me, you know what? I needed a break right now, some things right now. I'm probably gonna take a 3-5 year break, go back to my own company again. So at that point, I'm gonna hire off the personality profile. If I'm not sure, I want to hire a character. I'm
Right.
gonna hire a character because his character is strong. I'm gonna not be afraid the fact that talent is there as well. Because I said earlier, don't hire talent. But if the talent tells you, I'm taking a break right now, I have some things that's gonna be kind of stressful right now in my life, but I'm gonna take 3 to 5 years off. So my brain's telling me that I got 3 years, realistic with this person, 3 years of person, maybe up to the 5, but say 3 years, say best case 4 years. So I need to make sure that he is put in front of my best, hungry, greediest person that wants to learn. They're going to be tag teaming with Powell while I go off and continue to build and grow my business. So
Let
now
me tell
he's
you
made my
how.
plate lighter.
Let me tell you how what you and I talk about backfired on me one time. I came across this sister who was absolutely amazingly gifted and talented, and I was like, I gotta have you. I know that whatever you got going on right there is a good situation. You're not looking for a new situation.
Yeah,
How about if I double the salary and give
yeah,
you tons more support than you're getting right now?
yeah,
How about if I do that? Would that be something that you'd be interested in even thinking about?
yeah,
She was like, absolutely not. I
yeah,
was like, wait a minute, time out.
yeah,
You love me, I love you. We got the connection. I see that we can make magic happen together.
yeah,
What is it that I got to do? What's happening here?
yeah.
And she said to me, listen, I told the company I'm working with that I was going to give them the hardest 3 years of my professional life.
There you go. There you go.
And I'm in year one of that commitment.
That's right.
I'm not going to break that commitment for no reason at
Exactly.
no time. Talk
Exactly.
about character.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
Talk
See,
about
exactly.
character.
Yes.
And all she did was make me want her more. So I
That's
got to
right.
wait another year.
Yeah. Exactly. 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 Exactly.
But In a year, that's my marketing director.
That's right. That's
I
right.
know that's my marketing director in a
That's
year.
right. That's
And
right.
I got some temporary people in now. They
Yeah.
know they're temporary.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the key.
It's like,
That's the key. Yes, that's the key right there. To make sure people need to know, because again, people need to know. Look, I'm right now, because you told me the truth. That's some things I'm gonna tell the truth as well. But that's the whole point of about hiring that character over trying to hire just talent alone, because I need to know. Because or say okay, say if you come in, you come in my shop, I'm talking to you, and you're like, you're just in the personality profile tells me that you're not the same person I'm talking to. Now you know what, he's super talented, but I'm going to pass. But it's all about making sure that you use all your resources.
that's
Your
right.
resources say, because guess what? Him and I get along well. He makes me feel warm and fuzzy. I'm talking and laughing, we're hitting off, but at the same time, that causes me to miss something, because now it's become more personal than business for a half a second, and I
Mm-hmm.
miss something. And now I bring in, like I said earlier, I bring in now my company. Now I got a Judas in the building. Now I got to figure out, okay, how do I get him out? Talk to HR. Well, he done nothing wrong, because he learned before to play by the books, he or she. And now, but at the same time, because I saw this on the profile that says, no, this person's got so much issues, self-esteem issues, and they're not, they don't speak what they say. And they're like, well, that's the problem. Don't speak what you say. That goes back to character. So I just think, it's very important for us to understand, like we said at the beginning of this conversation, hire people with character, and understand that yes, personality profiles are not 100%, nothing 100%, but they give you a leg up on the conversation to be able to take out the personal side and look at strictly the business side.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And when we're talking about character, um, I think that's something that we've made an excuse on the past that we can't measure certain qualities in a person,
Exactly. Main
and
excuse.
we've made it as we've literally said, oh, we just need somebody who has the capabilities. We just
Yeah.
need the knowledge, skills, and abilities, the
Yeah.
KSA. That's
Yeah.
all we need. And I'm like, okay, time out. People, this is a Stephen Covey quote.
Yes.
You don't lead. You lead people. You
Yes.
manage systems,
Exactly
processes,
right. Exactly
right?
right. Yep.
And so you talk about people, you're not talking about a set of skills,
Yes.
right? You're not talking about a set of capabilities or even a piece of knowledge. You're
Yes.
talking about people willing to give of themselves. Now, I learned in economics when I
Yes.
was an economics student that it is literally impossible to pay someone what they're worth.
Exactly.
So, from a fiscal point of view, if you can't pay somebody what they're worth, but you need them to give you their best, then you're going to have to pay them something else,
That's right. That's right.
and that payment needs to be something they need:
That's right.
respect, consideration,
That's right. That's right.
admiration.
That's right.
You have to give them something from the human scale
Yes. 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 The
that
human scale.
you may have in abundance, and maybe you're a high performance energy person, and you got lots of motivation and lots of strategy and lots of ideas and stuff, and maybe that's what you give them. Or
Yes.
you are kind of person who is very cerebral, and you sit back and you think, and you can put all together the pieces all together, and you can teach them how to do things so well that they can save some time, effort, and energy. Then maybe that's what you give them. But
Yes.
whatever it is, it's got to be win-win.
Yes.
Because when we talk about win-lose, which is the normal strategy,
Yes.
I take from you, you give to me, and that's all there is, right?
Yes.
If we don't fix that problem in corporate America, in small business America, in families, relationships, organizations, everywhere, if we
That's
don't
right.
fix that mentality, that there's nothing in it for the loser, so to
That's
speak.
right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
And we're
Exactly.
gonna continue a lot of the drama that we've built ourselves into. We're going to
Yes.
continue the mass incarceration problem.
Yes.
We're going to continue the issues related to all the social issues we have in the country.
Yes.
They're going to get more and more exacerbated because we
That's
keep
right.
trying to put a band-aid
That's
on
right.
the fact that humanity is a real thing and
Yes.
should be directly affected by humans.
That's right.
We talk about social intelligence, we talk about emotional intelligence, but we don't practice any
That's
of it
right. Yes.
nowhere near enough.
That's
And
correct.
that's when I put those five intelligences together. These are all the
Awesome.
things I was thinking about, and I know they're going to work, and I know they
Awesome.
work with people because I
Awesome.
tested them. I just never
Yes.
put it in a nice big wrapper like I put them
Exactly.
in. I already tested them, so I'm like, this is the stuff that really works. So people,
Exactly.
leaders have to pay attention to this,
That's
not just
awesome.
leaders, but everybody on the team
Yes.
has to
Yes.
pay attention.
Exactly
They
right.
have to know what role they're playing, what they're identifying, how and
That's
why.
right.
If not, then things are going to falter. The system's going to break down. We're going to
That's
have
right.
problems, and but at least we'll know where the problem is.
That's right. That's right.
you know,
That's right. That's right.
this is the problem. Oh,
That's right.
somebody's not playing their position well.
That's right.
All right,
That's right.
and it's you.
That's right.
you
That's
know,
right. That's right. That's right. Exactly.
you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Exactly. Yeah. That's
you're not
right.
playing your position well, and
That's
we
right.
need you to bone up on this particular skill right here. And I'm gonna let you go work with so and so over here because they got this on fleek
That's right.
already. I'm gonna
That's
let you
right.
go work with them for a month or two, and
That's right.
they're gonna help you figure out, what you're doing wrong and what to do
That's
right.
right. That's
Then we're
right.
gonna reevaluate the situation.
That's
But
right.
after that,
That's right. That's right. I gotta make a call.
it,
Exactly
it,
right.
it is what it is
Yeah.
because I can't have a losing team.
That's right. That's right. It's not an option. That's the key.
It's
Not an option.
impossible.
Yeah. Not, yeah.
you know,
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
right?
Because it's not fair to that person. That's forget that. I
Not
get
fair to
the
anybody.
empathy part. It's not fair. It's not fair to the team. It's not
Right.
fair to that person.
Right.
Yeah. That's very important. Yeah. That's why I tell
This,
now to come
you are
down. I say
not for
one.
this team.
Yeah.
This team is not for you,
That's right.
and we need to agree and move on.
That's right. I told the company I said, you guys, well, we don't want to fire anybody. I said, one thing I said, I can tell you right now, I said, I've been hiring people my whole life. I said, I was in the corporate world for years. So I'm thinking about all this time, in 30 plus years in that realm. I said, I never fired one person. What do you mean? I said, now, I've assisted people in finding something better to do, but I never fired anybody. I said, that's the difference. I said, because if I keep my own team who's not performing, their family's not getting the best out of them at home, and the best out of them, they're not living the best life they can live because of the stress at my operation, that's my fault. That I have to own that. So I've had them find something better to do that fits their needs. This isn't what you put on earth to do. I appreciate your time. You get a letter of reference from me saying that you were at work every day, you were great, you tried very hard all day long. But this shoe is too tight for you. So I appreciate your time and enjoy your time at the next location.
Absolutely.
So, but
Absolutely.
because at the end of the day, it's your obligation to make sure, like you said. But the key you said a minute ago is very important. I'm gonna give you another opportunity because maybe my language is not right language to teach you with. So you go work with John or Susie for 2 months or whatever time you choose in there. Now, if their language is wrong, then there's something wrong. But it could be me. I could be telling you we all speak English necessarily, but it's still gonna be the wrong language.
Right.
So I'm going to have you work with her or him because, I had them teach someone a while ago, went well. So maybe their language is your language. So you get time with them rather than me saying, okay, I'll blow you out of here. No, So therefore, because guess what? You could turn around because I could be missing. I'm not too big to own my crap. If I am, I'm not a leader.
Oh, now you know what? You just brought in a brand new topic, but since it's here, let's just go with it. Mentorship selection.
Yes.
Oh my God. We talked
Yes.
about this earlier, right? Having more than one mentor, I think, is
Exactly.
essential. But do you think corporations should choose mentors for people, or do you think people should choose their own mentors?
That's a good question. That's actually, I would say, it's a two-part answer. Really, one-part answer, I guess you could say. The company that is using the personality profiles can choose those easily based off the profile. If you're not choosing them, you might have that because of the issue with them choosing their own. Now they become buddy-buddy. So now I had this super productive Sally who, because she likes the way this new Susie dresses, now Susie's got her head locked in to social stuff. So now I've lost Sally's production, and that's my fault. So that's the only problem with choosing their own. That's why I would say the person that profiles make. If I put you, if you're, say the disc is the simplest one to understand for the most part. If you're a D and I put you with an S or put you with a C, something's going to happen. That's not a good thing. Put you with an I, it's probably you're going to improve. They're going to improve. It's going to be nice. So I think it's best for the company to provide that mentor based off either history or based off of their personality profile.
I think another thing that you think about too, like if you let people choose their own mentors, they're all going to choose the same person.
Exactly. That's why I said, but then you lose the production of that person.
Right.
And now that's your fault.
That person's going to be like, what do you mean? I got 7 mentors, seven proteges. I can't do this.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Yeah. Like I said, then you lose production. Now you lost production on that person, and you also lost the production of the new person being onboarded properly. So now you got 2 casualties that you got to recover from.
However, what I've also seen this happen. People get mentor envy.
Yes.
I got stuck with the mentor that nobody wants.
That's right.
And I got stuck with that person. Like, why do I got the person that nobody else wants?
That's right. That's right.
Like, if I had to choose my own, I would choose Susie over here, not just because she dresses well, because she's the sharpest person in the room. She's making it happen. She's doing everything we need to have happen. And I want to learn from the best. I don't want to learn from, Johnny Joe Stupid over here in the county.
That's right. That's right. And that's why I said too, the fact of history, because of my history shows that, people learn from Johnny Joe, or Johnny Joe has a track record of people not staying with the company after being with him.
Right.
People learn more from Susie.
Right.
And guess what? I'm going to make sure I'm also going to not overwhelm her either. I might give her one person for 30 days or 90 days, whatever, and give another person that point. So I'm going to make sure, maybe make it longer, but also make it more manageable for her. But also, you said earlier, some very, very important earlier that I used years ago. Make it also monetarily beneficial for Susie, but also understand where Susie's coming from. Susie may not. Again, I know this sounds silly. We may not want money. It may sound silly, but I've learned years ago that is a fact. Some people do not want to see, because what I learned, I used to take $5,000 into my sales meeting years ago in a company, laid across $100 bill, laid across the table, in a rah-rah meeting. I found half of it, oh yeah, I can use that money. The other half like, oh yeah, my wife wants these pair of shoes, and I got a bill due anyway by tomorrow, so I got to. So now the money becomes I got to spend that before I get it in my hand anyway. Then I realized, wait a minute, let me look at the difference. So I started going to order trophies and plaques, and taking half the money away. Now I found that person that won the plaque, he's every day coming to work. Man had a bad morning. They come and open the office. It's a plaque on the wall. Oh, wow, this company appreciates me. So for Susie, mentor of the week, mentor of the month, consistent mentor, consistent corporate extra, consistent training assistant. I mean, whatever. So now when she comes in there, plaque on the man cost me $25 or whatever the number is. Wow. If I gave her $100 bill, it's like, oh, thanks, boss. I appreciate it. I got some my kids need some shit. It's spent before I get home.
Right.
But now I gave her a plaque that cost me less, and she's excited every single day. Look at the plaque in the office, like, oh wow, they appreciate me here. That's kind of cool. So
I think the moral of the story is for people to understand that everybody's incentives are different.
Yes, and I learned it the hard way.
And if you give everybody the same incentives, then you're basically giving everybody no incentive.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
And this is that old phrase, like fair and equal, they're not the same.
That's right.
They're not the same. What's fair to one is not fair to another. What's equal to everybody is equal to everybody, but it doesn't necessarily be fair to everybody. This story, I'm going to tell you this one story, then I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to close the show because we got a few more minutes, but I will tell you this one story. I remember this. I'm in the sales meeting back in my younger days, and I'm just a salesman, right?
Yeah.
And they present to us a sales incentive for the week that the person who got the most sales for the week would get these movie tickets.
Yeah.
This is New York City in the 90s,
Yeah.
early 90s, and going to a movie at the time was like $20
Yeah.
just for one ticket.
Yeah.
Forget the popcorn and the
Yeah.
parking fees and all that kind of stuff. It was $20 for one ticket. And a young new salesperson, I wasn't going to be able to do that. Me and my wife, I wasn't going to be able to do that too
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
So I was like, movie tickets? Woo, 2 tickets?
Yeah. Exactly.
And I got extra money for popcorn or whatever.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm in this. And so trust, I won those movie tickets week after week after week after week after week after week after week, to the point where I could afford the movie tickets quite easily by myself.
Exactly.
But I loved in fact, I would stockpile movie tickets. So when my friends came to town and visited us, we would always have movies to go to
Yeah.
for free on
Yeah.
me.
Exactly.
Whatever we wanted to do was always a part of the experience. You got to
Exactly.
go see. Do we go downtown Manhattan and catch the films? And so the point is, the company got so used to me winning, everybody else stopped producing.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. That's
because
right.
they felt like they could never win.
That's right. That's right. That's yeah.
And
exactly.
so they took the incentive away.
Yeah. Exactly.
And what do you think happened to my production?
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. You're like, what the heck? I didn't do anything wrong. But I got punched in the head.
So 2 months later, my manager's looking at me going, "How come you're not doing what you need to do?" I was like, "Well, it's no fun anymore.
That's right. That's right.
I know how to do it.
That's
I
right.
will. I can do it. So
That's
anytime
right.
I feel like I want to do it, I'm going to go ahead and do it."
That's
So
right.
to me, it's like, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Now,
Right.
bring my movie tickets. But he says, "Listen, if I personally buy you movie tickets, will
That's
you do it?"
right.
And I'm like, "No, because it's also a part of knowing that I'm on the leaderboard.
The competition. Yes.
That I'm at the top of this thing, and I'm young and I'm egotistical, and
That's right.
you got to stroke my ego.
That's
And
right.
just you quietly giving me movie tickets
Mm.
behind the court, that doesn't do it for me.
No, it's not competition then. Yeah.
It doesn't do it for me." He's
Exactly.
like, and my manager lost his mind. He
Yeah.
lost his marbles.
Yeah.
It's like, I got to get you back to that level of production. What's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
But you have to think about it. I think people don't do enough assessment of their team
That's right.
when they create these incentive programs.
That's right.
They don't really find out. They don't really know these people.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
really find out what works for them, because I don't know what the answer would have been even back then.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to get the whole team to perform, but here you only incentivized one guy to perform.
That's
And
right.
although yes, I was a super performer.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You
That's
took
right.
my incentive away, and no longer am I a super performer.
That's
and they
right.
couldn't figure out how to fix it. I
Yeah.
left the company by that time anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you had me,
Yeah,
but now
that's
I got to find a bigger and better deal. If
And
you'd have kept me
exactly.
getting my movie tickets, maybe we would have.
Exactly.
I would have still been there.
Exactly. But see, that's the key. But see, that's the key. It's got how the lady worked. She's got a husband and 5 kids, and that $500 or $100 bill at the meeting was not as enticing as a single person who was leaving work straight to the club or to the party. $100 is like, I can buy my friends a round of drinks, or I can get gas to go further to the next spot. That was a different conversation, But
Right.
again, that's why again, it could be reversed, but more likely, the plaque made sense for the person with the wife and kids, because I can look at that, I can look at that and say, okay, I'm important here, I'm a winner here,
Right.
compared to that $100, which now is gone. And then now I got to worry about, okay, so my check's going to be minus $26 for taxes. So now I'm mad about that.
That's the thing. Everybody's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Exactly.
and good incentives are really, really, and I'm glad we're in the DEI world right now. I'm glad we're in the diversity, equity, inclusion right now, because people have to figure out what works for everybody.
Exactly right.
Everybody individually, not everybody collectively.
That's
and it's
right.
no longer,
That's
forcing people to try to assimilate.
Yes.
People are trying to get people. It's forcing companies to try to recognize everybody's individuality,
That's right.
which is
That's right.
amazing.
That's right.
I'm hoping that it turns into something that we can be proud of in America, And we're not saying we're working for companies in spite of,
That's right.
the situation. We're working for companies that we're proud of
That's right.
working with
That's right.
and working for,
Yeah.
supplying or whatever, however you support the American
Exactly right.
economy.
Exactly
This
right.
has been great, James.
Awesome.
I want you to hold on for a second as I close the show, because I
Okay.
want to come back and take a picture of you, me and you. This is just like, this is a great day. I want to make
All
sure
right.
I mark this moment in history, right? So you just chill out. And by the way, if you want to put your contact information in the banner thing in the private chat again, that'd be great because I don't have it. Just put it all in one line, all your contact information, and I'll make sure we get it out to everybody.
Okay. Doing it right
All
now.
righty. Okay, guys. As you can see, we bring talent to the show. We bring people who have ideas, who are amazingly gifted, and are great people for small business leaders and small businesses to know and recognize. Again, Coach James is amazing. I'm going to put his contact information right here for you guys right now, so nobody can say, I didn't tell you how to get in contact with the brother. So if you're watching this, um, even in the future, maybe he might not answer this 1-800 number, in the future, but he'll answer it, now. So watch the recording and then call him now. That's his information. You should be able to get to him, and we'll see if we can't get the website as well, because that's also great and something that you all need to pay attention to. Okay, so we've learned. What did we learn today? Let's give a little bit of a back brief. We've learned the 5 intelligences of good win-win collaborative leadership. We've learned how people can come together, how leaders can come together and do amazing things for their people and for themselves. This is what we were leading to. Next week, we're going to go even further into the team dynamics and how you create a better team. Once you got your team up and running, what do you need to do next? How do you strategize? How do you execute on the plan? How do you do all those things that are going to be coming up? And then during the turn of this, will be in the middle of November. At that point, around the turn of corner, around December, we're going to start to get into your next year strategic planning. That's what we're going to be talking about for the last part of the year. How do you get set up to win big in 2022? And I hope you tune in. I hope you pay attention. It's going to be a brand new series. And we got a conference coming up. The True Voice Conference is coming up on December 11th. If you've been following me on social media, you know all about it. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, a speaker, anybody in that conference, it's going to be an amazing event for small business leaders. And we're going to go from soup to nuts on everything you need to do to make sure that your voice is being heard out there in the marketplace in a way that's going to be authentic and resonate and keep you winning. Thank you very much. This has been Coffee to You and Me, and I'm out.